Today's video is sponsored by Atlas VPN. Atlas VPN was developed by top cybersecurity specialists and IT engineers in 2019. Currently, it already has more than 6 million users all over the world. Now you can also enjoy it with a special 3-year deal for just $1.99 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get your deal by clicking the link in the video description below before the offer expires. Also, with Atlas VPN, you can protect your devices by blocking all the malicious links, ads, and trackers. It will notify you when someone is trying to steal your data. It also keeps your Google searches in private. You can search the web without tracking your activity. Moreover, while shopping online, you can get the best deals including online subscriptions, airlines, hotel, and more. Just one click, you can change your digital location. Then when you go back to the Netflix page, Netflix will see you're watching in another country, giving you the access to the dramas and movies you want. Now with only one subscription, you can protect all your devices, unlimited devices. Most importantly, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount, making it the most affordable VPN deal in the market. Now you can enjoy it for just $1.99 per month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Time is running out, so get your deal by clicking the link in the video description below. During the late Emperor Yongzhen's reign, the emperor had already considered his fourth son, Hongli, as the future emperor, Emperor Qianlong. Therefore, he wanted to choose him a beautiful and noble wife who would become the future empress. Eventually, he selected Fuca. Fuca was born into a noble family in 1712. Fuca's family was a clan of Manchu nobility. Many of her family members served as a high-rank official in the court. Her father was a first-class duke, and her paternal grandfather was a minister of revenue. In 1727, when Fuca was 16, she officially married the 17-year-old Qianlong as his primary consort. She then moved into the Palace of Eternal Spring in the Forbidden City. The couple had a happy marriage and shared many interests such as writing poems and painting. In the next year, Fuca gave birth to their first child, a daughter. 3 years after the marriage, she gave birth to a son. As the boy was the eldest son of Qianlong, Emperor Yongzhen was very glad. He personally named the boy as Yongnian. Nian means a noble utensil used during worship. It was a metaphor for a person who could take great responsibilities. A year later, Fuca gave birth to their third child, Princess Hejing of the first rank. In 1735, Emperor Yongzhen died and was succeeded by Emperor Qianlong. Fuca, as the emperor's primary consort, became the empress. Empress Fuca was virtuous and frugal. She served her role as empress very well. She always looked after the emperor and maintained a good relationship with other concubines in the palace. She was praised and favored by the emperor a lot. The empress was described as kind and quiet. She lived a frugal life and did not like spending money on luxury. She disliked gold and jewelry. She always wore simple clothing and often used flowers to decorate her hairs instead of the jeweled hairpins. The empress always listened to the emperor and shared his happiness and sadness. One day when she accompanied the empress to go hunting, the emperor criticized the extravagant lifestyle of the Manchus. He told her a story that in the past, the Manchu led a more difficult life. They did not have much money, so they could only accessorize their sleeve with deer hide. After learning about the story, Empress Fuca sewed a pouch with deer hide and gifted it to the emperor, saying that they could work together to keep the frugal culture of the Manchus. The emperor was very impressed. Since then, he carried the present with him all the time. Later, he also ordered people to wrap it with a golden box, then put it into a wooden box and wrote down its origin. The empress looked after the emperor on a daily basis. One day, the emperor suffered from scabies, a skin disease. The doctor told him to rest for 100 days and asked the lady-in-waiting to clean and dress his wound with fresh herbal medicines every day. Empress Fuca was worried that the lady-in-waiting was not gentle enough and may hurt the emperor accidentally. She then moved to the emperor's palace and took care of him personally until he fully recovered. Empress Fuca also highly respected the emperor's mother, her mother-in-law, Empress Dowager Chongxing. The Empress Dowager was not from a wealthy family, while Fuca was noble. They had a very different background and personality, but they still got along well. When the Empress Dowager was sick, Fuca even took care of her personally. Their good relationship lessened much burden for the emperor. After succeeding the throne, Emperor Qianlong secretly made the son of Fuca, the 6-year-old Yongnian, as the crown prince, because Yongnian was intelligent and was the only son of Qianlong at that time. In 1736, Qianlong issued a secret decree to establish Yongnian as the crown prince. The decree was hidden behind a plaque in his palace. In 1738, Yongnian was sick. Initially, it seems like he got a flu. However, just a few days later, his health got worse and finally passed away. It came as a terrible blow to Fuca and the emperor. Emperor Qianlong didn't go to the court for 5 days. Later, he made public the secret appointment of Yongnian as crown prince and ordered his funeral to be treated as that of an heir. Empress Fuca was devastated. She became ill afterwards. The emperor was worried and came to visit her every day. Although she was heartbroken, she forced herself to remain strong and continue her duties. Sadly, in the next 7 years, the empress was not able to bear another child. Until the 11th year of Qianlong's reign, the empress was pregnant again, and she finally gave birth to another boy. Although the emperor already had many children with other concubines, he was still very excited at the birth of this son. He named the boy as Yongqiong and had high hopes for him. He even made him the crown prince shortly after his birth. Unfortunately, in the next year, the boy suffered from smallpox and died a few days later. It was another severe blow to Empress Fuca. She was already 36 years old, and it was not easy for her to get pregnant again. She became depressed, and her health deteriorated. 2 months later, Emperor Qianlong planned to go on his first inspection tour to southern China. At that time, Fuca was recovering from her illness, so the emperor decided to bring her in order to heal her broken heart. The empress was very happy during the trip. When they arrived at Shandong province, the family went to the Mount Tai to enjoy the scenery. However, afterwards, the empress was sick. Initially, she had a flu, but then she had high fever for many days. The emperor was worried and wanted to stay behind with the empress until she got recovered. But the empress did not want to affect his political affairs, so she asked to return to the palace. The emperor agreed. In the next day, they went onto a ship to get back to the capital city. But on the ship, Fuca suddenly became seriously ill. Her face turned pale and her whole body was cold. Soon she fainted and died of illness not long after. The emperor was deeply saddened by the tragedy. After returning to the palace, the emperor organized a lavish funeral for the empress. He was devastated and could not go to the court for 9 days. He ordered that the possessions of the empress had to be maintained in their original position. Empress Qianlong visited her grave every year and wrote over 100 poems in memory of her. He continued to love her for over 50 years after her death. At 80 years old, he went to her grave again. He wrote a poem saying, "I am aging. People said I may live till 100 years old, but I rather want to meet you earlier. We will be reunited in less than 20 years." In 1799, Emperor Qianlong died at the age of 87, making him one of the longest reigning and longest lived emperors in history.